Okay.
Hey, it's your other bitch. What's up? I'm VoidDoll, your storyteller, your dungeon mistress, your dark reigning queen. I surprise myself with the things that I say in this session. Let's see if we can roll it back and do it again today. That being said, here's your trigger warnings. Gratuitous, violence, gore, sex, blood, laughter, funny shit, dumb shit, weird shit, you're welcome shit. I don't know. Please be 18 or plus. Honestly, this
And
campaign
peeing on
is...
people. Also NSFW. Thank you.
And not safe for work. Golden shower.
Yeah,
That'll do it. For the warning, please. This is just a steamy, dramatic, romantic, dark fantasy. So if you're willing to come along for the audio adventure, I will whisper sweet tinglies into your ear. That was strange.
How about you just come on over here and let me show you how real daddy does it?
Excuse me. Do not take my lines. You have to say it in the way that makes Jesse want to just... Come over here and let me show you how real daddy does it. What was that in? What freaking game were we playing when I said that? What was that?
That was Hemlock. I'm more than
God.
certain it was Hemlock.
Come over here, let me show you how real daddy does it. God, I'm brilliant. Yep. Willing to make a deal with the dead? I mean, are they hot? I mean, am I? The answer is yes. Rhetorical question. I know the answer. Caldrian, hot.
All right. Let's recap, Nat. I think I sufficiently warned everyone that this is kind of like CTS and Bound by Night have a baby, and we make it really dark fantasy and spicy. Woohoo!
All right. Last time on Dark Reign, there was a 3-week jump, and we found that Caldrian and Sylvis had been acting as teachers. And they were given a... So they had been teaching this individual, and then they had been given an order from a particularly... I'm gonna say a particularly creepy drow woman. I was creeped out by her, but I wasn't there, so it's fine. She was like, you have to kill this girl. I'm gonna give you an hour to do it. And she left the room. Through crazy Caldrian shenanigans, because that's him. He made it so Sylvis killed Caldrian so that he could go talk to his interesting Death Warden Keeper guy. Death Keeper guy gave something to Caldrian to give to Sylvis. And then when he came back from death again, Caldrian makes a habit of doing this. The girl exploded, and that was a thing. So obviously the lady was pleased because the girl was dead. And then she was so pleased, they got the rest of the afternoon or evening or whatever time of day it was, because Underdark. They went off to...
I kept her finger.
That's right, you did keep her finger. They went off to do something leisurely, ended up in the Silk Gardens, which I think are actually off limits, but you know, they ended up there anyway, and they found that our dear, loving, large friend, so handsome, Dragus, is there in a statue form. Sylvis punched his first person, so proud of him for that. Because they ran into the assholes from a couple sessions ago. And they were like talking down about Dragus, and Sylvis wasn't gonna have it, so he punched him and they got into a tuss. they all got in trouble, and that brought Sylvis and Caldrian back to our cell. In the meantime, though, while that was happening, Ethereal, Danriel, and Adra, we've been spending the last 3 weeks in and out of the arena, as new favorites. So we had an arena session that day that had us facing off with a particularly intelligent and sweet Kagoth. That battle ended quite abruptly when one of the onlooking priestesses, I think it was... Hold on. Oh, I just lost her name. I know it. Anyway, one that we don't like. She cast... I don't remember, it was either a fireball. Sterid. Yes, thank you, Sterid. She cast a great big ball of magic death in the arena, and the Kagoth actually protected a lot of all of us, and he died in the process. And we had a favor that Nemoral, the weapons master, owed us, and he had originally said if one of us die in the ring, then he'll bring us back, but we asked if he could get the Quaggoth brought back. At the end of session, we found out that his name is Theodore, which I think is adorable. And when we all made it back to the cell, we were reunited with our unfortunately much skinnier version of Ulvar. And Sylvis and Caldrian told us about how they found Dragus, and so we decided that we were debating on whether or not we were like, oh, do we just leave Dragus and go save his daughter like he wanted? But they were like, nah, we really should go save Dragus. We all really like Dragus, and that just seems like the right thing. And Ulvar was like, I could do it by myself. But we're like, some of us are like, you could probably save Dragus, but we don't think you could also save yourself. And yeah, that's basically where we left off. If you want the nitty-gritty details, go watch the YouTube. That brings us to here. And now.
Hey, there was also a really cool flashback that I'm not ever going to let you forget, Ethereal or Adra.
It's true, we did have flashbacks, but you should go watch the video.
They're emotional.
They are.
And a nice swift punch to the teeth, which we like on these channels. Your emotional
in
teeth,
these games.
I'm going to punch
Emotional nom.
Okay. So we are going to do a couple things here. First is I'm going to give everybody a chance to do some roleplay. Immediately after we ended last session, timeline-wise. And then I am going to skip to the next event of interest. All right. Starting with Ethereal. The conversation is wound down, more or less. There is a lull, and your mind, kind of unbeknownst and unwelcome even, pushes the picture of that Leonin forward once again. The Leonin with the beautiful mane and the glacial blue eyes. And you have so fleeting, but you remember that his hands were always so gentle. big, capable of violence, but never with you. What do you do?
I think initially he would have just been standing, but due to the circumstances and kind of being like emotionally just caught up guard by this recollection, he's just gonna kind of try to like gather himself, just like leaning up against like one of the cell walls. And as he does, he just kind of takes like a moment just to, you know, to just gather himself and just kind of recollect himself, since he usually doesn't get caught up like that, to just steel himself for what's to come. Oh, what I wouldn't give to be fucked by that man again. Jesus Christ.
You saying that out loud?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, I gotta roll. Like, rolling for Olvar. Fuck, he's distracted. Olvar's distracted, doesn't hear it. I had such a good comeback.
That being said, if we're gonna save Dragus, what do you think the plan should be? We can't just run in there willy-nilly hoping for all this to just work out. Unless you just want to raise hell and murder everyone on the way there. I'm absolutely for that!
You kind of talking to the room in general? You making eye
Yes.
contact with anybody? Okay.
But he's not looking at anyone, so he kind of looks a little, like, out there in that sense. Like, he's not looking at the party. It's just, it looks like someone having a conversation with someone that's not there, even though there are people there.
Okay. Any response from the party?
There.
You see.
Oh,
Go
go ahead.
No, go.
No, please.
Caldrain just crosses his arms and he just says, by any means necessary. I mean, getting out is the priority, isn't it?
We did have... We do have the opportunity to make that deal, and we could try and maybe... If he is so desperate for our assistance, we might be able to finagle getting Dragus included. Maybe. We could maybe try our hand at demanding... If he wants our help, then our stipulations are that he get Dragus included, all of our equipment. I mean, he wants us to go out into the wild dark anyway.
We're not really in a position to kind of, you know, hey, I show you titty, you show me your titty. It's not really, there's not really, we don't have a lot of foot in this race, Danriel. Though I'm in a, I don't know what his preference is.
I'm just saying, if he wants our help as badly as he seems like he does...
Who is asking for our help?
The blonde man from the arena.
Emotional dick pic man.
So Cal wasn't there when this conversation
No.
was happening, right? So that's why Cal's just like, what the...
Oh,
blonde
wait,
man?
I think you had died at that point.
No surprise.
There's a surface elf, Ladrin, whatever he is.
The one that Danriel ripped open his cheek and his ear? Yeah, that guy.
Galdrin was...
surface elf.
Yes. He seems to have a lot of pull. He approached us with a deal. He wants us to go digging around in
What's
the
crazy
dark for
is
him.
it's a deal. It's a deal. Caldrin, Cal, a deal. That's crazy. He should just be like, no, I am the master and you are just my object, so you're going.
Correct.
He definitely is attracted to one of us, or maybe multiple of us. So maybe...
Surface elf.
I don't
From
know.
where?
I don't know where from. I do know.
A name?
Did we? I don't think we got a name. I mean, I know his name. The player knows his name, but I don't think we got his name.
And you're saying that he wants to make a deal for us to escape.
Well, he didn't
More
put
like
it
work
that
for him?
way, but we could possibly escape as
The
part.
thing is, he could just
of it.
take us. It doesn't make any sense why he's like, hey, you want a deal, right?
I'm sorry, is he saying that we have to become his slaves in order to find a way out? Is he suggesting we work under him? Is that what-
I'm not
That's
sure
what it
if there was
sounds like.
ever talk. There was never talk about escaping. It's more like he will treat us better.
Oh yes, we'll get
Let
warm
the
food
surface
and
elf-
Healthcare and benefits, good. Yeah.
Bullshit. Such
I'm not
naivety.
100% sure. I'm not 100% sure about us having enough leverage of asking for Dragus to join us, but maybe at the very least we can ask him to deal with like the petrification.
You know
and
what?
suggest that he take Dragus on his side and whatever to serve him. At the very least, it would be under more control than whatever the Drow priestesses would do.
It's a better plan than I had.
I feel like whatever plan you had, Ulvar, you wouldn't be walking away from.
No, my plan was to fuck his brains out and then get him to sign the contract.
I'm pinching his thigh.
I don't think you have the stamina to fuck anyone's brains out right now.
Oh, he could fuck me, it's fine.
Ah.
But
Well.
maybe he's not into Ark. I don't know.
I think. Did we when we encountered him, those of us that did we all get the sense, like, was it pretty obvious who he was most interested in?
I don't know, you tell me.
I can tell you from my notes that he stared at someone
Oh.
intently for a very, very long
We
time.
know.
Oh, yes, yeah.
We as players know. I want to make
Maybe
sure.
Has any of you guys noticed? I don't know.
That's-
Did the people in the game?
I don't think Danriel noticed. She was too blinded by how much she wants to kill the guy. She has a very visceral reaction of anger when he's in the room, so I don't think she noticed. Okay, so we need to figure out how we're going to approach this then. If we are going to make this deal, we need to know exactly.
Typically, you want to be on your knees first. Ow! Ow! Stop pinching! Stop pinching!
I think what he meant is that how would we go about contacting the man, if anything, so that I don't think being on your knees is relevant currently, Ulvar, so maybe we're getting a couple of steps ahead of ourselves, so
Does
you
anyone
don't need to
know
get on your
where
knees
he
just yet.
lives, resides, whom he serves?
Which house was he hanging out with? Again, it's because we saw who he was sitting with. Is it
Ben Ray?
Yeah, Ben Ray. Yeah.
Mhm.
He works with House Ben Ray.
Is that not the house that we serve?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's your guys' house.
Yep.
So
Isn't that run by Sterid?
No. It's run by
No.
Mother.
By the mother.
yeah,
Okay.
we just,
Muther. Mother.
I mean, it would have been easier to send a mental message out of fucking know into the ether, but none of us can do that right now. Hmm.
Not an ability I've ever possessed. I could think really angry thoughts at him and maybe they'll pick up.
I feel like since he didn't leave any means of contacting us, that means he has some sort of way, or at least he is, I don't know, fucking tuned in or something.
I mean, he said he would come back, but it's been 3 weeks.
I mean, we didn't really talk about this plan before. Without even considering, we didn't really
No,
give it
we
time.
didn't because 3 weeks happened. We didn't really talk about it. No. I mean, I could start. I could just shout out into the hallway.
Oh, yes, shout out in anger to the person you have a seething hate for, yes.
Well, no, I was meaning.
I would love
I'm
to
sure
see
that's
it.
one way.
I could just. I don't know. Gotten myself.
Curse him.
I do curse him, but the problem is I don't remember his name.
The name, though, yeah.
I just know that I hate him.
have a question. Could we possibly make a list of everyone who needs to die? At least at the top. And then we can go from there to see how that would change everything.
I guess the first name is Darren because she has the key to our slave bonds.
I already have a way to kill her. I've already made a deal. That should be of no
Do
problem.
it right now.
You see, earlier today, or whatever day it was, I don't quite remember. Sylvis and I, we were tasked with something a little gritty. We had to kill a child. And we did. And because we did, we were able to, I wouldn't call it make a deal, but rather we were able to discuss the future death of Sterid. You see, there's somebody else who wants them dead. Besides us.
I'm sure there are several people that want her dead.
And this is one way where she does die. Tell me, have you heard of Megara?
Oh no, she is. Olvar's like shuddering, like, oh man.
Trust me,
Ugh.
I had her tongue in my mouth.
Oh,
I'm
just wait.
aware.
She's gonna put it everywhere else.
Oh, I am well aware as well. Her 9 arms and whatever the hell else was growing out of her
Oh,
were all over me.
Can
but
I-
the deal was
Adra, hold
struck.
me closely.
If he does, I mean, just they're there, buddy.
The deal was struck. Kill the girl. So if we want Sterid dead, it's as easy as snapping your fingers. That's one off the list, but how does that really solve anything? With her being dead, what does that do for us? Who then controls our bonds?
If she holds the key, then it has to be some kind of physical object.
Is it a physical
Either
key
we need
or a magical key?
most likely magical if the bonds are magical.
So would it not
But-
by... Here's my thought.
No, what?
The problem is she can die, right? But then do the bonds pass to whoever kills her? Or are they...
Do you think the key is within her?
I mean, I wouldn't mind cutting her open to see. if I'm telling you anything, listen. When we were speaking with Megara, Ulvar, if you don't want to listen, you can plug your ears, because this is quite the description.
Yes, I'm not going to put my nose in an address book right now.
She consumed the dead corpse and remains of the child. Consumed them, ate them, absorbed everything of that child. Except for a finger. I kept that. I really don't think that I should be telling you the rest of this story while there could be ears listening.
When you're mentioning the feeding of the body, it's not that there is a scared look on Adra. It's like more like her jaw kind of clenches of this, as if there's like a bitter taste on her tongue. But that's about it. That's she like doesn't show any other reaction other than
You
that.
may think me cruel, but we do what must be done. I do not have a lifetime to waste down here in the dark. As I'm sure all of you feel the same, I'm getting quite sick of sitting in this cell. So what do we do? How do we find out more about this key? How do we unlock the powers that are still stuffed inside of us? How do we get out?
Then it seems like we need two things. We need information and we need to get rid of the petrification, because otherwise I'm not sure, even without the slave bonds, any of us can do anything with that type of magic right now. And maybe that's what we can bargain for. Like him being so high up and connected to the drow could be something that we can use.
You can just see Caldrian, like, he's, like, clicking his tongue, almost like he's, like, sucking on his... Yeah, you know, like, that sucking noise? The thinking noise? Okay, Nat knows what I'm talking about. Okay. And he's just like... The problem is that you're putting your faith in a surface elf. And I'm sorry, no offense, but that to me is just... unacceptable.
I'm as a surface elf looking right in your eyes.
Oh, and he's looking at you.
Slowly blinking.
So unless you can tell me where exactly he's from and who exactly he was before he served the drow,
I'm not sure that's the information we can bargain for.
I know that I know him, but I don't remember where I know him from yet. I know him.
As you're saying that, I need you to roll a charisma saving throw.
Oh no! Charisma saving throw. All right, I got a +1. It's 18. 17 plus 1.
Okay, you remember his name, and it just comes flooding back to you. All in a rush.
Wait. She like closes her eyes for a minute. Mir. Adramir. That's his name. Yes. He had. Obviously, things have changed. I don't know why or when. But he served a kingdom, fought for a kingdom, and when he lost everything for that kingdom and found out that he basically wasn't...
You say he served Devura,
Yes.
and then I message you in the private chat.
Oh. Yes. Adramir of House Numenor of Devora. That is who he is.
And the minute that name leaves the lips, Caldrian, the minute you hear that fucking name, Adramir is the idol of the purists. Adramir of House Numenor is the relic of the past. He is the reason that tiefling are looked down on. He is the front line of their war against anyone different. Adramir of House Numenor. It means, if that is truly who he is hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of years old. But according to legend, he was put down. He was stopped by a ragtag band of adventurers all around the Vale, from Canicus to Daywin, Greymore. They even had adventurers from King Pass and Pyrrhus that eventually put him down.
I fought with him, and then I fought against him. He was like a totally different person. Like a switch had been flipped.
There's no way he could be the same elf unless he survived. Or something else came about.
Tell me, Danriel. Why did you choose to fight with him in the first place?
Because originally, he stood on the side of those of us fighting the hordes of the Underdark. When the drow came to the surface and they were trying to destroy and take over and harvest, he was on the side that defended against them. He lost everything in that war. And when I don't know what specifically flipped his switch afterward, but he became worse than them. And then I had to stand against him. The details are still muddled, but that's what I remember right now. I don't I don't know why I'm here now. I don't know why he's here now.
That is a good question. How is it that he is still alive?
I don't think it's a matter of still. I think it's a matter of again. Because I am not still. I am again.
So you're suggesting that all of us have had a conversation with death?
I don't know. I don't remember anything past waking up here. Other than what I've just told you. And that only just now came to me because we were... I don't know if it was because we were talking about it and I was deliberately thinking about it, but I don't... There's this huge gap of time that I don't remember. And I think it's... I don't know what's been taken. I don't know why I'm here. All I know is I woke up here. I don't know anything beyond that.
And is that the same for the rest of you? Or do you remember everything?
Oh, my memory is quite clear. I have no gaps whatsoever, so that is not an issue for me.
Well, I do remember all of my current life. But since this mirror appeared, how do I put it? Some of my older nightmares started to make more sense, and I've started getting clearer visions, which I'm still trying to make sense what they mean.
And you, Adra, I don't know what our connection is, but you also feel familiar. Since the first day you and I were put in a cell, I felt that. But I don't know what it is yet. Don't think this does anything except for create more questions, but...
Rather, I think it answers quite a lot. I have respect for you, Danriel, for the sake that you decided to stand up against Adramir. And he bows to you and he says, "So I do appreciate that. Thank you, I guess. Not really. But I do look at you with a little bit more respect. But I do not think that making a deal with him is going to do anything but stir up more trouble. However, I wouldn't say getting close to him is a bad idea. Perhaps we can work with him, see how he has changed. Perhaps he's not the same Adramir that you remember. And if he's not, if he's worse, at least we're close enough to take him down from the inside. Keep your enemies close. Isn't that what the saying is?
Indeed.
And if it's anything, I'd be more than happy to take his head from his shoulders.
You would not be the only one.
I'd more than be glad to take his remains to those he has wronged.
I don't think you could break him into enough pieces to split him amongst the people he's wronged.
At that moment, there's a lull in the conversation. It sounds like someone has moved guards very, very likely towards the cells. There is quite the scuffling sound. It's very distant. You recognize it as an echo, ever coming closer. With that, I want to continue going around and getting everybody's chance to roleplay as the plan lulls. We're going to skip over to Adra. Any roleplay for you that is non-specific to perhaps making plans in case you are discovered?
My only thing was that if we're gonna have time period afterwards, after this, there wasn't any time skip before. Before the session started, there was no time skip, right? Or there was some time period
There was no
that
time
passed.
skip. So,
Yeah. Cause I only had like a request, but it only concerned a time skip if we're gonna stay in the cell for a while. No, aside from the fun, I don't think so. Not really. It's just like she's more like monitoring the sick boy and
roll a
looking
medicine
after
check.
here and there. Let's try medicine. Yeah. I use my inspiration. Oh, that's much better. 23.
His bravado is gone. The moment Caldrian sort of dismisses him from the conversation, he takes it almost desperately. And he is in pain. It's written all over his face. And he's curled up on his side, eyes closed, teeth kind of working, causing his lower jaw sort of roll and the tusks to move against his upper lip. There's a faint sheen of sweat. Fever. And you think over these last 3 weeks, he's had some kind of infection consistently.
Is it possible to, like, if I'm able to find some pressure points to maybe alleviate some of the, like, muscle tension?
100%. With your roll, just roll a sleight of hand with advantage.
That's gonna be 12.
Okay. As you start, he actually reaches up and grabs your hand. His eyes open, the orange globes looking at you. And he grins in a way that the bravado kind of returns, but he's tired. He's like, if you want to touch me, all you have to do is ask.
She actually, there's like a slight lift at the corner, but she doesn't like have a full smile. Can I touch you? I'm asking.
I consent. And he lets your hand go and lays back, puts his head in your lap.
So it's like once she massages like with the knuckle, tries to massage her like pressure points, trying to help him kind of relax more, so the fever is not so difficult.
Yeah, you roll well enough on your medicine that, his relief is not necessarily immediate, but obvious. That big chest, that too skinny right now, exhales on a relief. I bet your palms would feel so good against
I
my
cover his mouth before he finishes. Just like
and you feel his tongue moist, hot, lick your palm.
I guess like considering her fingers are stained with like herbs and moss, potentially they can have like a like a scent to them, so it's like a little bit more relaxing. And like just like he's wiping away the drill on his shoulder or something like that. She starts kind of massaging upwards to try to, because potentially with the fever and all that, he could have like a headache. So like alleviate, so he can kind of less talk and more concentrate on relaxing and
Okay. As you move up
Better.
to like pressure point from center of eyebrows up the forehead into the hairline, and you're moving through, you see that he does have very thick silver threaded black hair. But under the scalp, his skin is quite green, as an orc. There's black lines. And at first you're like, oh my gosh, he's speckled. And then you realize, Adra, that his skull is tattooed and his hair has grown out over the tattoo.
She's kind of mumbling under her nose a little bit more to herself, but if he hears it. Kind of like, you'd have to tell me one day about these tattoos.
A different lifetime. I was a different orc back then. I'm more handsome now. A lover, not a father. Hey, Caldrian!
Yes, handsome?
I will owe you a very big favor if you come over here and rub my feet and calves.
You want me to touch your feet?
Don't tickle me this time, please.
And what is this
Great.
favor? Anything?
Whatever you want, pretty please.
So you'd be willing to make a deal?
Okay, except for the crazy, weird stuff. I don't wanna do your drugs.
I don't do drugs.
You do crazy death drugs. No.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
fine.
Mm.
I will come rub your feet. This is just because I like you.
I like you too, Cal. I know I'm ugly, but I'm also
Not
very
ugly.
handsome.
Quite handsome. I've told you that before.
Hey, you can be both.
As you take
Ugly
his
and
boots off,
handsome?
you see that his toes are pretty pretty rough. They've been broken a couple times, so they're not that attractive. And
As Sly, I fucking hate feet. I think they're so disgusting, and the idea of touching feet actually makes me want to throw the fuck up. Ew. Ew.
and then
Cal
mumbling,
spits on his hands. I
Nice.
learned this
Going
trick
all
on
in.
Silvar.
mm,
Rub your hands together and press the heat on things, and apparently it heals it.
I like that.
and he pitches another tent, but we'll neither go in that. But after a minute, he's like,
Hey, Ethereal,
Mm,
can you come over here
what?
for a second?
He reluctantly begins to push himself off of the cell wall and walk over to him.
What's your armor class?
14.
Okay. So he is pretty skinny right now, but he's still very strong. He does grab you. Roll a athletics. Oh.
Oh.
You might beat him. I don't know.
That's a natural 20 for 26.
God damn it. He got a 29, bro. Come on.
Wow. Damn.
I give my inspiration an extra roll. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn. I was like, all right. Okay. So basically, like you come over and he takes your toe bean paw in your hand and he's rubbing it. And there's like this extended moment of just like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he tries to pull you down to like snuggle you, and you know he's gonna snuggle you. He's got the snuggle eyes, and you manage to like you spread your legs out and your hands like a cat leaning over him. You're all roughed up. You jump back, and he's like, "Oh come on, you purred last time. It's not that bad, huh? Come on, just let me cuddle you. You're
That
so
was the
soft
one
and
time.
furry. I'm lonely."
I
Outside,
can see that, you desperate whore.
I am
Haldrain's tail
desperate.
comes up and brushes against Ulvar's face, just like he
Oh.
whips it around. He's like,
I am a desperate whore. And he like kisses Cal's tail and then looks up at Andro and grins, wiggles his eyebrows. Huh?
She just like shakes her head disapprovingly.
And you hear outside, if anyone who speaks Undercommon, the drow are like, "Oh, that stupid orc is at it again. God, he's such a sex monger." And the other male drow is like, "Well, I guess if that's the only thing you're good at." And Olvar's like, "Daddy Danriel!" Oh!
Haldrian also makes noise in the way that he just like he hears the drow outside, and just to piss them off, he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, over that. Oh yeah."
I think Danriel's just like, just shakes her head. Is like, oh my god, this cell.
Yeah. The drow do come over and like smash the. They don't look in because they'd be scandalized, but they hit the they hit the bars. These two male drow, they hit the bars and they're like, "Put it in there!" And they say that in common. And then the other
Haldrian
one
replies
says,
in Undercommon, "Why don't you join us?"
you know, "No, you whores, you male pigs." And Olvar's like, "Ooh, you know exactly how to get me really hard there."
I
Oink,
want
oink, baby.
to. I would love to like come around the corner to the.
Hey, let's go on that map because there's some things that are gonna come up.
Okay, hold on. Map. Map.
Oh, what is that map? The what's that song? The one with Dora the Explorer and the map.
Here's
You know what I'm
the
talking
map,
about?
I think.
Yep. I just keep thinking about it.
I would love, like, while they're having words with Caldrian, I would love to like jump around the corner, be like, "You want to join?" just try to startle them. Just be an asshole. Like, get the
Okay, they do scream. Yeah, you're a big woman. They're like, and they like stumble back over each other and like move back. And then, Danriel, you hear someone else in the hallway chuckle, and it sounds feminine
Oh,
but tired.
okay.
It sounds exhausted. And then the drow, they pull out their clubs and they hit whoever is chuckling. And it is feminine grunts of pain.
Is it coming from like... Is it like another cell? Maybe? I guess we can't really tell from here.
Roll a insight for me.
My insight. Oh, not as good as it was in a previous life. Oh, all right. That's a 19 plus 1 for 20.
Sounds like they're dragging a prisoner into place.
If I move right up to the entrance, can I, like, maybe catch a glance? Or are they too far around the bend?
Roll a perception check.
Perception. Um, 13.
Can't quite make out who they've got.
Okay.
But they are dragging them away after they've beaten them to almost unconsciousness. And then they're back at your cell. And about this point is when Glyph is returned to his cell from last session. And he wants to call for Caldrian, but he doesn't. Caldrian, where you're standing, rubbing Uvar's calf, Glyph does not look well. He looks bruised and swollen, scared. That being said, your group, several guards come into your cell, pushing Danriel back, and these drow, they grab arbitrarily a couple of you, and it seems like they're going to move you places. So, amongst yourselves, as players, I'm going to give you the opportunity. Who would like to be put in a different cell?
Well, I know right out the gate that I would have... Danriel's itching for a fight, so she would have harassed. I don't know.
So Danriel wants to be moved to a different cell?
I don't know if she wants to necessarily be I mean, just to maybe try and get... I think, yeah. Actually, yeah, to try and get some more, I don't know, get some more information of the layout and stuff, because really, this is the only cell she's known the whole time. She just wants to try and know a little bit more of the layout. So I think, yes, for that purpose, she...
Else?
I'm not sure Adra will leave, considering like Ulvar is still sick, so she will try to make sure that both of them kind of like stay in one place.
Vil and Sly?
I'm going to leave it up to the DM to do with Caldrian as they so please.
I gave it up to you.
I don't mind being thrown in another cell. If I'm thrown in another cell, I'm thrown in another cell. We'll see what happens.
I'd like to stay just to be near Glyph, unless they're going to move me in the cell with Glyph.
That might be a chance.
Make a deal for it.
But someone needs to watch Ulvar.
I think Adra's trying to stay with Ulvar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Then to ensure that they didn't pick the others. Because he does like Ulvar, which is weird. I think it's just because he finds him annoying and it's entertaining. But he'll step forward, he's like, take us where you need us, I guess.
All right, so now I'll randomly roll and see who ends up with Glyph. Out of the three of you.
I have my finger crossed for you.
Yeah, same. Like, come on.
Come on.
Cal needs it.
Cal needs his boyfriend. Let him have some happiness. He's just such a weird, depressed guy. He's killing himself. Please. Yes! Let me be in there with the soft boy.
Oh, there's a lady in here.
Kiss her immediately.
Danriel's sexual
Right away.
preference.
Whoa.
I'm just wondering, considering who her fathers are, it's an easy question.
You're just gonna
Okay.
have to learn things.
So go ahead and zoom out. You guys might freak out a little.
Wait, how far?
Wait,
What is he doing in there?
What's happening?
What is he doing in there?
What is...
My husband! Your father!
My daddy!
My husband! That's my husband! Bitch, why is he here?
Also, my husband in another life, but not this one.
Damn, that art looks good.
Yeah.
God damn. Who commissioned that shit? Damn, that's beautiful.
Why is
Gotta
he
dream
here?
about that man.
Why is he here?
Okay.
Why is your daddy here? What the fuck is he doing? Praise be to the holy 12 abs of the Church of Sidril, but damn, why is Círdan here?
Okay, so we're gonna start in each room, and you'll each get a chance to roleplay. Sylvis is also taken out of the room, so let me.
Sylvester.
Yeah, he's taken by the drow as well. So, I guess we'll start. Where do you guys want to start? Top down or bottom up, or in the middle? Or, I don't know.
Top down. Top down.
It's like we want to know why Círdan's here.
All right, Ethereal, you are put into a cell. You're actually tossed into this cell, and oh wait, he's at the desk. He looks aged. This elf, he looks like he's in his early 50s, late 40s, or maybe even mid 50s. It's hard to tell with elves, but his hair at this point is mostly silver. He doesn't look up when you're tossed in. And after they close the gate and everything, this prisoner, he's got his whole neck is just one giant slave band. And the tattoo descends down across his pectorals, and it's got a bunch of runes across it. He's wearing an open robe. His wrists are just written in drow all the way up to the elbows. He's got pens and paper and a little lantern. Like he's has all these amenities. The only thing
Well,
he says to you after a few minutes is, "Are you lost?"
Lost in this Underdark hell, kind of. I suppose that's a good way to put it, but it looks like you seem rather fortunate in your circumstances in this dark hell.
A slight smile.
Do you want to be found?
And as he turns to you, the look is intense. It's very intense, actually.
I want out. Whether that's being found or not. If being found is getting out of here, then absolutely yes. I want out. Like a caged animal who was in the wild prior. I want out. A feral creature should not be put in a cage.
But a feral creature can indeed be tamed.
And he walks up to you slowly.
He's gonna kind of give him, narrow his eyes. Perhaps yes. Tamed, but shouldn't be bound.
You know of what I speak.
And as he's looking at you with these very pale silver green eyes, you feel exposed. Raw, even.
Um,
You have many choices to make.
I mean, don't we all? I mean, we all have many choices to make.
He leans in, but yours are different, aren't they?
Some of them will have my hands and body caked in blood at a point. Like a human being slathered in butter prior to being thrown into a cauldron for a witch. Of course, there are other decisions as well, but that's irrelevant.
I am going to be watching you, Ethereal, as you walk your path. I have a vested interest in you and your friends.
I don't recall. Who are you? I don't recall giving you my name ever. Who in the world are you?
His eyes flash. And it's intimidating and so much more.
I think you know who I am.
And all of the small hairs underneath your thick layer of fur stand on end as there's this electrical cold that wafts off of him. And you hear this tiny beep, 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 beep. And this small yellow bird drops out of his robe and comes up onto his shoulder. And he reaches up casually to stroke it. And then he moves his hand and it turns into this beautiful gray cat. It's just on his shoulder watching you.
Life finds a way. It always does. When was the last time you prayed, Ethereal?
Been some moon since I've prayed. Some time.
Then
I feel like my patron is a tad indifferent to my existence half the time.
And pray tell, who is it that you bow your head to?
I bow my head to Lady Shaw.
Mm.
Whether it was her hand that helped me or another, I feel indebted.
Ah, your worship is a debt you must pay. My help comes at no such cost.
I'm aware that most help does come with a cost, but would you consider me be remiss that I find that to be false, even though... My God, you're a mysterious creature. Who the hell are you? Christ almighty!
I am the air that you breathe. And he gets really close. I am the thoughts in your mind made manifest. And he kind of moves around you like a serpent, but of a vast variety. I am choice. Justice
You-
will always be served to Cyril. And life finds a way. And then he reaches out and touches your hand, and your slave bands are gone.
Excuse me?
I have a vested interest. This is not me directly intervening.
I...
Make good choices and return to me with honor.
What?
The gray cat jumps from his shoulder to yours. Like, scrubs big, fluffy, furry body against your face.
It's all about our choices, Ethereal. Even in the dark, hope lingers. You think that she is something fragile. You think that hope is breakable.
And he turns from you. And he folds his arms behind him as he paces.
But hope is bleeding. Her eyes blackened. Her knuckles split and broken. Hope is a warrior, and she cannot be put down. Lady Shaw is good.
And then he turns to you, and he holds out his wide-sleeved robe.
But I am better.
And when he vanishes, it's on a roar. There's a visage of this lightning and snowy dragon.
Is the cat still there?
Cat's still there. Desk is still there. Pens are gone. Ink's gone. All that is on the desk is an opened leather ledger.
He's going to...
Cat hops down and then weaves through the gate here. And then comes back and tries to trip you, as cats do. What do you do?
He's going to pick up the cat, hold it in his arms, and look at the ledger if there's anything in it at all to read.
Scripture.
And in the scripture, it speaks of a dawn, a bringer of the light. Through fear, through pain, through turmoil unjustified, a path was traveled and choices made. A shadow set back and a new beginning.
How big is the ledger itself?
I would say it's Bible size.
He's Bible size, like pretty thick, I take it.
It's like inch and a half. It's pretty decent.
He's going to take the ledger itself and just like pull the front of his armor, or even like he's gonna pull the front of his armor, like his leather armor, and put it like right in where his chest is.
Okay, as you do, it feels like a hug. It's warm against your chest. And the cat begins to purr. There is more written in the ledger. You haven't flipped through it. It's so... How can a book be warm? How can a book that has text about some Dawnbringer in it be living, be hopeful? Why does it make you feel this way? You don't know. But you find yourself holding. You kind of wrap your arms around you, Ethereal, and you hug the book. And God, it feels like a father's hug. And then all at once the cat hops up onto the desk and starts pulling at your arms for uppies.
Just pick the cat up again, go over to the cell door, and he's just like he's well aware that even if he like tries to test it, it's just gonna it's just gonna be locked. So he's just gonna try and fiddle and test with it and see if it'll want to open at all.
Okay. Same as all the other cells. Very likely locked and in place, but the cat, he just walks between and then comes right back to you.
I guess I'm not completely alone in this cell, little friend. He picks the cat up again. We'll lie down on one of the beds. And
As you lie... Sorry,
and just pet it.
Yeah, as you lie down, you're petting this thing, like, you can't help. It's been a long day. It's pretty exhausting. And you hear that voice again. It says, I call him Mr. Sir, but he answers to Smokey. And then as if that same voice is speaking to you, or maybe not to you, as just as you're on the cusp of sleep, it says, as you are perfect. Even in your benediction to violence and pain, there is nothing more treasured than your existence. That which breathes and is given the breath of life is sacred and should be treated as such and taken care of. Life is hard. Life is difficult. Life is unfair. You cannot control everything in life. Control the things that happen to you. But that does not mean that they were nothing. It does not mean that everything was for nothing. You are the manifestation of all that has happened to you. And you, as you are perfect. May Bahamut bless you. May the sun shine on your head, and may the moon ever follow. And may you know that the dragon scale is stronger than any pain.
Looks like I've made 2 friends on this day. I guess this place, as much as it does fucking suck, I
You
can live
say
with
that?
this right now.
There's a moment though, like that connection, that like wispy connection, just as you're like starting to fall asleep, like makes these decisions. You hear someone else's voice that says, "Darling, what are you doing?" Oh, and then there's a hang up. Nothing. I'm doing nothing. I'm not interfering with the lives of mortals, I promise. There's like a bunch of shuffling paper sounds, and then it goes quiet.
Yeah, he would just, if it kind of lulls him to sleep, then he would just probably fall asleep holding the
Hey.
cat in his arms.
Mr. Sir Smokey, purrs on your chest. He doesn't make biscuits. He's not that kind of cat, but he does occasionally lean forward and just headbutt you on the chin. Rubs real hard. He's very big, very hairy. Okay, that being said, we're going to drop down into the next cell. Danriel. For some reason, the cell above you was completely dark. There, you couldn't see, you couldn't hear anything, and then all at once, it was like you could. And you're like, oh, ethereal! And then you watch him like go to the bed and lay down. And
Do I see that he is a cat?
no,
The cat is invisible.
you don't.
God damn it.
No, there's no. You don't see the cat. You do hear it, but it could be just ethereal meowing at himself. Like you don't want to be rude, so you just don't.
I just don't.
You're not like, hey, are you meowing at yourself?
I don't address it. Are you in there purring by yourself?
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
I do
as
not.
fuzzy as that cat, Jay. As fuzzy as your baby. Okay, this drow, she probably stands like fairly tall, like 5'10" or so.
Okay.
She is shackled, and she has slave bands up her neck and on her arms, and exactly as I described Círdan's are what hers look like. She is laying on her side, slightly bleeding, groaning into the dirt.
Shifts so awkwardly again, like, I had weeks to get used to those other people, and now I'm encountering someone new. What do I do? I I see that they gave you as good a welcome as the rest of us, usually.
Everything hurts.
It's fair. Is there like a particular wound that's bleeding, or is it just like several?
Several. She's covered in she's one giant bruise.
Right. That's fair. I've been there. I've done that.
You are the slave they call she-muscle.
Danriel makes a what the fuck face. Is that what they call me?
Indeed. You and the dog fight well together in the Colosseum.
Indeed. My name is Danriel. Not she-muscle.
Of course. And so not only is she tattooed, she's also like bound. Like her ankles are bound,
Right.
her wrists are bound, yeah.
You must have done something pretty unapproved of, considering you are not only in here, you are also quite shackled, not just magically.
Dangerous is what I am. They're afraid. If you don't mind, I think I'm going to take a nap.
Let's do.
And as she like kind of rolls over, you see her back, and there are these two scars running the length of her shoulder blades.
She'll just sit quietly while the other person in her cell is napping.
Yeah, the other drow, it's obvious. She's not napping. Like, you hear this little like click, 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 click. She's absolutely trying to use her nails to get out of the shackles. Yeah.
Are the shackles magical?
Don't know.
Do we know? Okay. Because we haven't, I was supposed to say, in our experience, I don't think any of us have been physically shackled yet. I think we've just had the slave bands. No, wait, we were. We were physically shackled once, I remember, around the waist and ankles. I could probably try and break those. She just says quietly, very quietly. Unless they're enchanted. It's very quiet in here. I hear you.
Roll a persuasion.
I hear you picking.
Roll a persuasion.
Persuasion. All right. I'm gonna use one of our Dawn Daddy's dice for persuasion. Okay. 15 plus 1 for 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay. She actually rolls onto her back, wincing a little. Looks at you.
I mean, I could try.
Why would you help me?
Because you're in here, so you can't be as bad as the rest of them out there.
But I'm one of them.
Are you?
And she kind of smiles, and her eyes look at you from top all the way down. And then all the way back up. And there is quite the heat She licks her bloody lips. What's the catch?
Do I look like someone that has a catch?
You definitely look.
She's gonna try not to react to that. Hey! She doesn't flinch. 19.
Okay.
I probably can't
Roll me
get them
one more.
off, but I can probably break the chain, maybe. I don't know.
Roll one more persuasion with advantage. Hold on.
With advantage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoops. Woo, we love advantage. That was an 8 and a 20. Net 20. So
Okay. Okay. Your Okay.
I'm not
She does
even
kind of-
trying to be persuasive. I'm just like, blah.
She holds up her wrists. And gosh, everything she does is like so sexual.
I try not to notice.
She holds up her wrists to you. Her fingers touch your hands, and her eyes trail up from your throat to your eyes, matching your gaze. You're different than I imagined.
And how did you imagine me?
Not so real. More angry. Closer to my relatives than not.
There's plenty of anger there, but you haven't done anything to spark it, so
Oh.
why would that matter?
She just gets a kind of a glittering look in her eyes. And then jingles the chain a little.
Okay. She's going to attempt to break it.
Okay.
I mean, as long as it's not enchanted, she feels pretty okay, like she might be able to do that.
Make an athletics check.
Athletics, baby. Oh. I'm rolling really okay today. That was a 19 plus 5 for 24.
Okay. So as you begin to pull, in the above cell and the below cell, so Ethereal and Calderin, you will hear the whining pop of the metal. And then, Danriel, you feel a very familiar hand, a very familiar hand on your shoulder, but it isn't actually there. And you hear one of your fathers.
My heart.
Not your father that struggles with seasonal affective disorder and is introverted and terrible with his social skills most of the time. You hear the other one. Your father and I like to give you space. However, I would offer you this help, my sweet girl. And there's a sudden flash of like the dawn behind you and this hot warmth, and you feel a tightness between your shoulders. And then your hands, they spring to flame. And your slave bands, they burn away.
Oh shit.
Daddy loves you.
I think in that moment, feeling his presence, I think it's pretty overwhelming, and she does shed a couple of tears, like unknowingly.
I understand. A mortal choice was yours to make. I understand you left because you wanted to, and I respect your decision. No one deserves to be chained. And so I give you this second gift.
And you feel him kiss the top of your head. And you have in your arm, you see these beautiful scrawlings from the tip of your middle finger all the way through your palm down to the crook of your elbow, and it says Elliptian Dawn. You may break one chain. I can do no more for you. Already the eye of the Mother of Malice has turned to look.
She just quietly mumbles, "Thank you."
When it is darkest, it is just before the dawn.
And you feel an embrace, and then he's gone. And when you come back, the drow woman is holding you.
I'm gonna say when the bands are gone and replaced by the inscription, I think she unconsciously... Hold on, I need my character sheet. She unconsciously uses her like radiant soul ability.
Mhm.
And I think like her wings come out that she hasn't used in a very long time, and unknowingly just also uses her healing hands ability on the person who is holding her, just so overwhelmed by the warmth of her father, just kind of melts into this stranger because she just misses that connection.
There. Savior mine.
Sorry.
All is well. I am very grateful. You would help a drow, no less, and heal her to boot, though I bear all of the markings of a priestess of Loth. Incredible. You are exactly as Ulvar described you.
He does like to talk.
Says a lot, but speaks very little.
Indeed.
Danriel, I am terror. But my friends, if I had any, would call me Terror. High Priestess of Loth. Soon to be matron mother.
And yet, you're in here.
Well, yes, I am indeed.
No doubt I will be fed to the machine. Maybe we could escape. Make a run for it.
I would be lying if I denied the fact that that idea has been mulling about since I got here.
We would have to release all the slaves, though, so that we had fodder to hide behind. Otherwise, we'll never make it past the gates. Noraxia is a favorite place, the mother of malice, and her magic fuels its backbone.
Why use them as fodder when they could be an army?
You are very foolish if you think you can just undo a slave band. Those bands are tattooed using the blood of a maiden of Lolth. You understand that, right? It would take a god to completely remove them.
Oh,
And Ethereal, as that chain popped, you're hearing this, Ethereal, and so is Cal. But Cal's also he's also distracted by his own conversation with Glyph. But Cal, you were like, not Cal, Ethereal, you were like sleeping, and then you woke up to the sound of popping chains, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep again, and then you heard this, and your eyes are open now. Oh. Huh.
what if we don't need everyone's slave bands to be removed? We just need a choice few that can make the difference.
I would call you a surface dweller. Still, you have hope. I'm still not convinced it isn't wise for me to pretend to be still locked up.
Saying we move now. What am I saying? I only just met you.
Yet you've cried into my arms and I've held you like we're girlfriends.
Circumstantial.
She's, I think, a little shorter than you. She's 5'10", right? So she's
Danriel's like 6'2", 6'3". She's
Okay, yeah, not too
She's-
pretty close.
But-
Yeah.
Look, you asked why I helped you. 'Cause you were a drow.
Yes.
I don't judge people by what they look like. My opinion is if you are in here, then you are the enemy of my enemy. Is that too trusting? Probably.
Undoubtedly.
Has that mindset got me in trouble before? Yes. But I was just raised different.
You must have had very caring parents.
Yes.
I wonder what that's like.
And some of your hair has like gotten caught on your cheek, and she reaches up to, right before she touches it, she pauses. And you could bend forward if you wanted. But you don't have to.
She leans like couple of centimeters closer, but not more.
Okay. And the tear pushes your hair aside.
Well, thank you for healing me. Your hands were quite warm.
Welcome. I mean, the visage has dropped now because it only lasts a minute, but For a minute there, it was very obvious that she is a child of celestial beings.
So those wings, you know how to fly?
She just kind of shrugs. It's been a while, but yeah, I can. Occasion.
She doesn't speak more than that. She makes a non-committal sound, turns away, and then kind of starts rifling through the room. And we'll meanwhile there. Okie dokie. Down to Cal.
Need a moment to just like, I've been screaming over here this whole time. Just like having a little mental freak out over here, and I'm just like, ah! Like,
Kind of go to Adra first and give you more
it's
mental
good.
screaming. Okay,
I'm
good.
okay.
Okay.
Give you more mental screaming.
Oh, sorry. Did you want mental screaming, Adra? Oh, we could totally do that. We can always leave my, non-mental screaming. Whatever happens, happens. But we did say top to bottom, so I feel it is only fair we all struggle together. Feel free. Let's do it. But for those of you who don't know about Círdan and we met Círdan just like 2 seconds ago, but if you haven't met Círdan, or you want to know about Ecliptian Dawn, or you want to know about all that shit, you need to watch CTS. And if you haven't watched CTS, where have you been? What are you doing with your life? You're wrong. Go and do that. Yeah. It's on our YouTube channel, right? Go to Dolly's YouTube channel.
Yeah, the link is in that thing I just posted.
All right. So you are with the baby boy. And he is, as soon as you're put into his cell, Cal, and they leave, the guards kind of leave, they shove off, Glyph throws himself into your arms.
Cal doesn't really move his arms. Just kind of lets Glyph hang there, and then you know that you go to reach up and then you decide to put your arm back down.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what Cal did. He just like goes to rub his back, and he's like,
I shouldn't hug you without permission. I'm sorry. I just... And he pulls away and is hugging himself. Sorry. You see that he's got a ton of hickeys all up his throat.
what happened?
His eyes start to water. I don't think I could say.
Who did this?
He just swallows audibly. He looks
How
down
many?
At the ground. He holds up one hand. 5.
Tell me what happened, and I will ruin them.
I think I can say.
I told you not to come here.
I came to save you.
Don't need saving. Cliff,
Yes, you do.
no. If anything, it looks like you need saving. If anyone is going to break down here, it will not be me.
You can't say that.
I just did.
You can't just keep treating yourself like you're some kind of weapon, Caldrian. You're not
But
a
I
weapon. You're a
am.
person. He grabs your hand. Tries to make you look at him.
I haven't been a person in a very long time, Glyph, and I'm sure you know that.
No, that's not true.
Caldrian just smirks. You have such high hopes and faith in me.
In the courtyard. Back at the college. You were the only one to stand up to a crowd of vicious naysayers. A weapon doesn't do that, a person does.
I do what needs to be done. Clearly.
The law house, Caldrian. That tiefling farmer had no one to represent him, and you showed up. A weapon doesn't do that, Cal. I have watched you time and again save everyone around you. And I've watched as no one has saved you.
I don't need saving.
I'm here. And I'm helping you.
Helping? Glyph, look at you. Broken, falling apart. You can't even tell me what happened to you.
Because it's shameful, Cal.
Shameful? I've experienced all types of shame, Glyph. Nothing you say could ever make me see you differently. Shit happens in life. We just all have to learn to deal with it. So just tell me what happened. Let me destroy those who dared to touch you in this way, and then we can move on with our lives. And
I
you can
gave
go
in.
back.
Caldrian, I gave in. I participated. Okay? I participated. I didn't want to tell you because I'd never done anything like this before.
What did they make you do, Glyph? Tell me.
And he tells you. He tells you in detail. And he doesn't meet your eyes. And when he's done telling you, he withdraws from his pocket, the one sewn inside his trousers, a key. But it is not like any key you've ever seen. The tip of the key looks like a spider. Make an intelligence saving throw.
Forgot that I'm not very smart. I was like looking, I'm like, wow, yeah, this is gonna be great. Okay, so it's a 16 on the die for 17.
That is enough. This key looks like it opens the lock to the cell. I knew if I fought against it, I wouldn't get the chance to get the key.
So instead, you gave up your...
And it was you.
Why would you do that?
Because that's what you do. And he's looking down, his little fists are clenched. His cornflower hair, a mess of braids. It's what you do when... That's what you do when you burn for someone. That's what you do when you ache for them.
Are you telling me, Glyph, that after all this time, this is the time you choose to confess your, what? undying sexual attraction to me? Is that what this is?
He looks at you with teary, bright blue eyes, made brighter by the mist in his eyes. I love you.
Cal reaches forward and grabs Glyph by the chin to make him look in his eyes. You can almost see the black veins swirling from outside of his eyes. You don't love me. You don't.
You can try and say that because you don't want me to get hurt. Just because you've been hurt doesn't mean you're not deserving of my feelings.
You cannot love me.
I don't care.
But I do.
Then rebuff me, and I will chase you until the ends of the earth. Deny me, and it changes nothing. The sun still rises and sets.
There is no sun here, Cliff. There is no rising of the sun. There's no brightness. There is no light.
Just because you can't see it, Cal. And he takes your chin as well. He's very little. He's like really reaching up.
Just because you cannot see it doesn't mean that it is not there. The dawn is always there.
Nice pogo. Jealous. I'm not good for you, Cliff.
But I'm good for you.
No.
Yes.
No. If you are with me, Glyph, I will rip you apart.
Then
I will
don't.
tear apart everything good that you are, and I will burn it. And it will not be intentional. So no. I am not good for you because I will ruin you, like I have ruined everything else. I am a stain. I am a disfigurement. The world wanted perfect and they got me. They tried to purify the world, Glyph. They tried to they tried to make the world into something it wasn't. I don't belong there anymore. Don't belong part of that world. I don't belong anywhere.
The little hand on your chin cups your cheek. And then he very gently reaches up, stroking the base of your ear. And the way that he's looking at you is so soft. I think you're beautiful. I think you're the most beautiful man I've ever seen. I love the color of your eyes. I love the shape of your face. I love the sound of your voice. Everything. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. And then he lets go, steps back, but he shifts pretty quick. And he's got your tail.
Why are you doing this?
Holding your tail, like, against his chest.
Why are you telling me this here?
Because when you left, I regretted it. Every day. Every second of every day.
When I left? Glyph, do you even know what happened?
I heard rumors.
Rumors?
I investigated. Professor, I told you this, he's making the descent. And he is far more powerful than I am at casting, and I'm sure.
You think that son of a bitch is gonna come here and try and save us all?
No, he will.
Like I give a shit. And Caldrian spits on the floor.
Glyph steps closer, still holding your tail. You can choose not to accept my feelings. That's fine. It doesn't make them any less true. And then he kisses your tail. And it doesn't make you any less beautiful, Caldrian. And he lets your tail go. And he steps back. And walks over to his bed, which is just a little pallet on the floor, and he sits on it, just completely defeated. We're gonna meanwhile there. Atra. You have slightly overheard what's happening in the cell above. Actually, who am I kidding? The minute Olvar heard, he's like, "What the? Sit me up, sit me up." Pressing his ear to the stone.
Just kind of trying to like pull on his belts, like, "Hey, come on, give him some privacy. He's
my
your friend,
God.
isn't he?"
Here's my friend. He's an idiot, but here's my friend. Someone comes to the Underdark to tell you they love you, and you just say, "No, I'm bad for you." Idiot!
I'm sure he's a big boy. He can figure it out.
He's gonna need some help.
Might I add, you need some help right fucking now.
What kind of help you want to give me, honey?
A spoonful of honey would be good, actually.
No. I mean, like, no. Like, oh my kidding. And he just grins at you. Has anyone ever told you that you are resplendent? If your body was a temple, which I am not convinced it's not, I would worship there.
She kind of looks at him very confused at what he's saying and kind of reaches the back of her head trying to like check for his fever. I think you still need to lay down.
He still has fever. He will lay down. The fact that he doesn't fight it, he doesn't feel good.
But, like, really, how are you feeling health-wise?
Roll persuasion.
12?
12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He just continues with like the cheeky kind of, "No, I'm good. I'm fine. I just need a little nap. And some beans. Beans would help. I would stink, and it would
The smell would give me sauce in my nose, and I would be able to continue forward. Gas powered, if you will.
I mean, sometimes just she kind of like thinks for a second, kind of like not look at him, but I guess as he lays down, she kind of still has her hand somewhere, close by to I don't know, thinking that maybe some, I don't know, contact or pressure can reassure him, like settle him down or center him.
Let's talk about you.
What is there to talk about me?
What are your thoughts on everything? This Adramir, this mirror. And he gets a little more serious as he's talking about this.
Mhm.
He's interested in you. In a strange way I can't pinpoint. How do you feel about it?
Strange. It's very confusing. I mean, I have my suspicions. It could to do something with. I'd call it a condition I have since childhood, but I'm not. It's just like I feel like there's not enough for me to be 100% sure.
Yes, you mentioned seeing memories or dreams, right?
She kind of contemplates for a little bit if she should say it to him or not. There's a little bit more. I've mentioned that I remember this life. How to put it? When I reincarnated, basically, like as an elf, my soul didn't really merge properly. So there is a division between those two halves. And I feel like it has been dormant for a really long time. But I feel like it's stirring up again. And this Adramir I feel like he's the cause of it.
Is it something you want to investigate, this restless part of yourself?
Well, if I said I wasn't scared shitless of it, I'd probably be lying.
Afraid how?
There was always this fear that part would overtake. Because as I was little, it was more almost like it would erase the person that I am.
That's a very understandable fear. Not the same, but I also have a past life that I worry. Yeah, he shakes his head. I just don't want to become an asshole again. I far prefer being a desperate whore. Much better for me.
As you start talking, she starts like using circle motions with her thumb, kind of like in a soothing way. Well, do you think it's such a... how should I put it? It's not an entity inside of you, it still was you, but now you are still... stupid, but... the current you is you, so I'm not sure it can become your past self right now, if that makes sense.
He slow processing. You think it's the fever. Like he's trying to grasp your words, right? But you can see that he's like sweating more. And he's already green, but he's more green than he was.
Sorry, Adra, I think.
And he kind of clears his throat.
I think I don't feel very good.
Can I try to, I don't know, check for signs what could be possibly happening? Is it like the fever, or he's like, I don't know, sick? Like, I don't know, trying to vomit or something like that.
Roll me an insight.
$17.
Thinking back over everything the last 3 weeks that involved Olvar, you don't know what happened while he was entwined with however many drow he was entwined with, or doing whatever they had him doing. But when you were attacked, the party was attacked by that thing, and he was throwing up. He had a fever then too.
She kind of like,
And it
have you
makes
been
wonder-
sick this?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Have you been sick since that encounter?
Maybe. It's been a while.
There's no maybe, Olvar.
I don't know, it's hard to tell. Like the first couple of days, everything was just mostly normal. A little headache, little not feeling good, throw up occasionally. You know, now
And he gets really quiet. And the way his face relaxes, you see all the lines, like the stress lines in his face. He's a middle-aged gentleman for an orc, you know? So the stress is evident.
Stupid question. Do we have pillows on our beds, like on the cell beds, whatever?
No, but you do have blankets that you can fold up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the blankets and kind of like roll them up to kind of like try to make him as comfortable as possible. Considering like if he gonna have shivers or something like that from being sick, because like this is currently all I can do. And as she does, she kind of like keeps I don't know, using the pressure, trying to pet him in a soothing motion. There's this like, not panic, but certain distress where she's like really feels helpless right now, and she could kill for healing herbs and like potential, even for like fucking lesser restoration spell to alleviate some of his sickness.
Roll another persuasion. This time with advantage.
I'm not sure I'm gonna roll better than this, but
Okay.
no. 18.
18 is a lot better than 12. His eyes are closed. He's like laying down on his side. He's got the blanket up to his chin. His feet are kind of hanging free. And he says,
sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm not sure I'm myself. I don't know what it is, but I know it doesn't want me around for very long. Which is why I was so okay going to get Dragus.
Is it because you felt like you had a time limit?
Feels like a clock is ticking.
With this long pause, she, I don't know, stares into like the dim lit room. How long have you been here, Olvar?
Couple of years.
Roll for bullshit? How do I do that?
You roll insight.
22.
I think it's either longer or shorter than a couple years. But he's definitely lying to you.
Mm-hmm. She starts. And here I thought we could be such good friends. And here you
Oh.
go, lying to me.
Okay. Come on. 10 years ago, I was here for 3 years. I escaped. Then I was hunted down again.
Will it be a stupid question to ask how it is out there?
The same. It ever was. Chaotic. Filled with sunshine. And darkness. Hard. And joyful. It is everything. All at once. At the very same time. I'm gonna make sure we all get out though.
You just worry about right now.
All I'm going to worry about right now is if you're gonna let me lay on those nice thighs of yours, huh? And he kind of worms forward. Come on. I am a sick, dying man. Please.
She looks at him deadpan. But what she does, instead of him to inch like in an uncomfortable position, she sits where the pillow should be, kind of like resting her back against the wall, and kind of like pats her.
Okay. He rolls onto his stomach
Mm-mm.
so that his cheek is on your thigh and his arms wrap around you, one coming like around your butt and the other up over your thighs. Kind of wiggles his face a little bit.
You better appreciate your sick privileges.
Oh, thank God. Thank you. Good God, Pantheon. I can't think of names right now. Thigh, mommy, heaven. Very good.
She kind of like rakes through his hair with her claws, like in a soothing, relaxing motion.
Mm.
Do you speak Orc?
I don't think so. No. Druidic, Elfish, and Undercommon.
He says a couple of sentences in Orcish. And then he starts snoring.
As he starts snoring, she leans closer to his ear and actually whispers the amount of years, and kind of like, I'm gonna let you in a little secret, and whispers the amount of years she spent here. Kind of like a secret for a secret, I guess.
Holy shit. He stops snoring and just says, holy fuck. And then holds you a little tighter. And kind of pushes up.
that you're nose to nose. I'm sorry.
Why should you be sorry?
It sucks that you've been here that long.
And he's gonna lean
I
his
think
forehead
what-
on yours.
She kind of like jolts, but there's kind of like almost nowhere to go anyway, so she at least stays. I think what sucks is that it almost feels like I forgot how the normal feels like out there. Like this I don't know, poisonous slime that is this life has become the norm.
It'll get better. It will.
she pinches him on the arm and kind of like, you better get better.
Scout's honor.
And he kisses your forehead. And he cuddles back onto your lap. And I think that's where we're going to end today's session. Each of you having had your own revelations and, well, deeper moments. Welcome to session 5 of fucking Dark Reign. Oh my lord, weird. What crazy.
I was telling chat that I was not ready for all the emotions that were happening today.
Damn.
All over the place.